Is working hard actually working in reverse for you? Is it causing you to attract more lack into your life? We hear a lot of times, it's just like embedded into our subconscious mind, that hard work equals a lot of success. And, a lot of success is usually associated with a lot of money. But really, what happens is that when you are working hard, you're sending out the completely wrong frequency and therefore attracting the frequency that you don't want, that you're working hard to eliminate. Um, so, you hear a lot of stories, especially from these motivational type speakers. They're always like, no guts, no glory type thing, and I've seen these things on Instagram and stuff. Basically, just work, work first, play later, and all of this kind of stuff. I don't know, but it's just all of the stuff that makes you think that you have to work your ass off in order to earn large sums of money or whatever you perceive to be large sums of money, or to be able to get the home that you desire. Um, and the truth for some people that may have been true. Yes, there's many success stories out there, and you always hear about them, about the people that worked their asses off, and now they have these big companies or whatever, and they're living their dreams. But what you don't ever hear about is the people who, they don't really work their asses off at all, and things just kind of fall into their laps. And the reason for that is because they had the right mindset. Okay, they were in the right state of consciousness to attract uh, all of their desires to just basically fall into their laps. Um, you never hear about those stories, and I guess it doesn't make for good stories. You're not going to see something on some news special about some guy who easily started up some company and now it's huge. You don't hear about that. You just want to hear about these people who had to struggle to get these big companies started and all that, and I guess it just makes better stories. But really, the way that you want to do it is you don't want to be swimming upstream. Okay, if it's, take that path of least resistance. If it's giving you resistance, then maybe you need to back off a little bit. And if you're having to work hard for something, then maybe you just need to back off a little bit and give it a break and see what happens. And like I said, the main reason for this is because in metaphysics we know that the way that we feel and our thoughts are what attracts other things to us. Like attracts like. And this is how our reality is created. And so you should know that, if you do know this, that when you're out there, just working your ass off, and you're doing all of these things to try to have a better life, and what you're doing is you're really creating struggle. You need to just be able to relax and let things come. Put out that desire. Don't be obsessed with the desire, and then just forget about it and let it come. Uh, if you've got a project that you're working on, try to be relaxed about it, and don't go through just putting in these insane hours of trying to get things done and all that. Now, if maybe you have a boss that's telling you have to have something done by a certain date, just try your best to do it without being stressed about it. Because if you are really stressed about it, then that's the vibe that you're putting out. And what's that going to do? It's going to attract another situation like that. It's a cycle. And understanding cycles is huge in being a conscious creator, because that's what really keeps so many people from being able to change their realities, is that they're caught in these cycles of repeating. But what we want to do is get you to a point where you are not having to work hard, and you're getting more than when you did when you were working your ass off. So, a really good way we need to understand where this really comes from, and it's really a subconscious type belief. A lot of people don't even realize they're doing this, and I, you know, I pinpoint this to a major time in history. I think that when this really took over in people's subconscious is possibly back when Christianity was really rising, and so many people were taught that poverty is a virtue, okay, and that you need to work your ass off to get anything, and I don't see it that way. I think that a lot of that was just kind of possibly a brainwashing technique in order to get more money from you. Get you to give more of your paycheck to the church. But this is something that has been embedded in people's minds for so long that a lot of people don't realize that they're doing it. And what we need to do is we need to reprogram your subconscious mind to thinking that getting money is easy. It's not hard. You don't have to work hard to get money. You don't have to work hard to get anything. It doesn't make sense. It makes no sense to be, swimming against the current. You need to be going downstream. You don't need to be going upstream. Okay, so we need to change that subconscious belief. And so how do we do that? Well, there's plenty of ways that we can do this. We could come up with affirmations to change this. One that I like to give people to use is very simple. Just repeat, easy money, easy money, easy money. Now I'll try to do this with feeling, just easy money, and try to have fun with it. And this affirmation is really good for changing your subconscious belief about having to work hard for anything that you want, but especially money. It's really good for that because it doesn't give your subconscious any way to react negatively to that. Okay, you're not saying, making money is easy for me. This could cause, if you know anything about affirmations, you know that the subconscious mind can fight back against your affirmations because it doesn't believe what you're saying. But when you say something just like easy money, you're not giving it anything to fight back against, and you are essentially embedding this belief in your subconscious mind. And that's what we have to do, is change this belief, okay? And because that's why you're having to work so hard to get what you want. It's because it's a belief. And you have to understand that it's not as simple as just saying, well, now I believe that making money is easy. And that's a great start, but you have to really truly believe it. You have to do more than just scratch the surface with it, as I like to say. You have to really believe it. Really believe that getting anything you want is easy. It doesn't make sense for it to be hard. Now, some people think that and this is a limiting belief. Some people think that maybe their higher selves want them to have to struggle. Okay, or the universe or God, source, whatever. They think that that their higher selves or God wants them to have to struggle to get anything, because they think that that's the only way that they can grow. And maybe if they believe in reincarnation or something like that, that's the only way they're going to transcend in their next life, or they might not even be able to graduate to another density. And that's getting into a whole nother subject. But the fact is that if that is your belief, then that's what your reality is going to be. Okay? And again, we want to change it to where your belief is, it's easy to get anything I want, and that will be your reality. Okay, there are plenty of people out here that do this. Like I said, you just don't tend to hear about them as much as the people that struggle and then end up successful. Okay? And if that's what you want, if you want a great story to tell, then just keep going with that. But, you know, personally, I like to teach people how to get things easily because I think that that's the way that it's supposed to be. It's the path of least resistance, you know. This is, you know, take have a Zen mentality about this, okay? We want it to just flow easily, okay? Why would you want that struggle? When you're struggling with stuff like that, you're just giving yourself more stuff to not be able, you know, taking more time away from enjoying life. Why not get it easily and then just have more time to enjoy leisure things instead of putting in 13 hours a day? You know, you could be getting the same amount of results out of 6 hours a day. You know, there's many ways you could do that. I want to do a whole other video or something about the 80-20 principle. If you don't know anything about the 80-20 principle, look it up. It will, you know, it's a great thing to know about. I learned about it in business classes I was taking years ago, and it can really help you be more efficient in anything. Okay, so look that up. I'm not going to get much into it because that could be a whole other video, but. What we want to do now is we really want to work on changing that subconscious belief, okay? Poverty is not a virtue. Working hard is not necessary in order to get anything you want. Everything is supposed to flow easily, okay? And so I want you to be thinking about this, and as much as you can, you know, when you start, you know, having to feeling like you need to just keep pounding in and pounding these hours in and keep, you know, doing all of this extra work. Remember that what you're doing is you are essentially sending out the vibration of what you do not want. And we know that whatever vibration you're sending out is what you're going to attract. You are thinking about it at that time. You're vibrating it, you're feeling it. When you're stressed about, when you're working hard, you're stressed. And stressed is a very powerful feeling. And that powerful feeling is charging those thoughts, those stress thoughts that you're having, okay? And when you charge it, you are just, man, you are just sending it out just double, with double the power, triple the power, whatever. You're making it so much more powerful, and therefore way more likely that you are going to attract more of that to you. Okay? And like I said, I'll repeat it, if you are someone, now this could be easier for people to do that are like self-employed, or you know, not having to answer to a boss, I guess you could say. But if you are, you know, say having to meet these deadlines, just remember that you want to try to approach those kind of things that, you know, maybe you do have to work hard on that, but you want to approach it with maintaining your feelings. Don't let your feelings of stress take over. Okay, try to be as relaxed as possible as you can about meeting these types of deadlines or whatnot, because you do not want to repeat that. The more, you know, you have a project you're working on and you have to keep working really hard at it to meet that deadline, you're going to attract another project, the next project after that. You're just going to repeat it. You're going to keep repeating this. So starting now, you need to start changing your vibration about it, changing the way you feel towards working hard, and start changing that belief. You know, remember, if it's you know, if you want to stop having to work so hard to get money into your life, to be able to enjoy the life that you want, just repeat, easy money, easy money, easy money, as much as you can throughout the day, whenever. Okay, but especially when you are in a heightened sense of consciousness, be that if you're in a meditative state, or even a state of just high excitement. That also is a whole nother video about just, you know, charging your affirmations. But really start to work on this and know that it is not necessary to work hard to get what you want. There are so many people out there that don't work very hard to get what they want. You know, there's And I don't want to say that, you could take someone who works in manual labor, and, they might be out there working in 100 degrees, sweating and doing whatever, building houses, roofing or something. And then you have maybe, say, a white collar worker that's a banker, but he's got, stack of papers that high, or she has a stack of papers that high on their desk. It's a different type of hard work. Maybe that's not manual hard work, but that's more possibly mentally hard work, more stressful on the brain than, say, the rest of the body. So it's a matter of perception also. For some people, certain types of things are hard, and certain things are not. So that's kind of a matter of perception there, and I'm going to leave that up to you as to how you perceive it. But I would stress to you which actually that's not the best word to use for this video, but I would ask that you always be careful in the way that you perceive things. Always try to perceive things in the more positive light. And just remember, keep working on this. Try your best to convince yourself that it is easy to get anything you desire. There's so many people out there that do this. That's why you can have two people that are doing the same type of work, and one of them succeeds and one of them doesn't. It all comes down to what's going on up here and the state of consciousness that they're in as to what they attract.